Good morning, Titans. Hope everybody's doing well. This is another edition of History at Home. But this week we have a special, very special occasion for the first time ever in the history of the History at Home Federation. We are going to have a cage match. In order to more simply, more effectively take care of our homework, the History at Home Federation has compiled an all-star team to help you with that. In the red corner, hailing from Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City Madman, John Cunningham. Coming in at 6'7", 285 pounds of pure crushing power. In the blue corner, hailing from Steeltown, 6'8", 290 pounds of pure steel, Caden the Iron Man Moore. And in the blue corner, coming from somewhere in Kansas, we're not really sure, standing 5'1", weighing in at a scrappy 105 pounds, Scott the Smasher Smallwood. This week we'll be taking on our opponent, the end of the Civil War, dealing with the Appomattox Courthouse, Gettysburg Address, a lot of the things that happened towards the end of the Civil War. We're going to be doing it in the same fashion that we did last week's, with a menu for you to choose from. Make sure that you pick at least one item from each course: appetizer, main course, and dessert. You can choose any of the items in any of the courses. It doesn't have to be just from your teacher. Please remember, students, as you're doing this, and we'll remind you again at the end, that as you get these done, turn them in one email. Don't send us 3 separate emails. It gets really hard to keep track of everything, and it's just easier if you just send it all in one, and that would be great. With that, we will let the crusher, Mr. Cunningham, get started with his appetizer. Go ahead, Mr. Cunningham.
All right. Well, thank you for that brilliant introduction, Mr. Smallwood, the Smasher. I appreciate that. So like Mr. Smallwood said, we're going to a restaurant again. You're going to pick one of these appetizers. What I have cooking up for you guys is a look at some primary source documents. You're going to go look at the Gettysburg Address, which is going to be a really, really famous document that Abraham Lincoln issued out after the Battle of Gettysburg. Or you're going to look at the surrender of Robert E. Lee at the Appomattox Courthouse, as Mr. Smallwood protruded to earlier as well. So you're going to look at those actual documents, which is really, really important to learn how to be able to do that. And then you're going to fill in an organizer, and I'll attach that to Blend Space. And on that organizer, just be answering questions like, what kind of document is this? How is this related to the event now? And just who's the author? Just really simple questions. And again, if you have any questions, shoot either one of us an email. We'll get back to you on that. And again, very, very important to begin a Word document, and then you'll be able to add all of your courses to that. So looks like next is Mr. Smallwood.
Yeah, okay, so in this article, is about the Battle of Appomattox. And as you read through this article, I want you to give me 5 reasons in detail why this battle was seen as the end of the Civil War. Obviously, you know, the surrender of Lee was after this battle, but within the battle and within the reading, you can see why, reasons why they considered this the last battle of the Civil War. So, yeah, Mr. Moore.
Well, Mr. Smallwood, I appreciate that introduction. That was unmatched. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to watch just a 2-minute video on the Gettysburg Address. Sort of gives the motivation as to why Lincoln did it. and what sort of his intentions were with that address. And then you're just going to answer those 3 simple questions just to get you thinking about it. So what was Lincoln's goal in giving his speech? What impact do you think his words had on the soldiers? And then what emotions do you feel when listening to the address? He says a lot of powerful things. One of the most famous speeches in not only American history, but world history. So make sure you guys dig into that if that's the appetizer you choose.
All right. So for main courses, what I have is you're going to create a political cartoon or a comic. I don't know. I love Calvin Hobbes when I was growing up. So again, you guys are still into comics, I believe, with all these Marvel movies coming out. So anyways, you're going to make your own little comic about one of the battles that were mentioned in this section. We got a little link here if you want to know some more information. And I believe Mr. Moore is going to have some battles that you can look at as well. So again, just try to make a cartoon about any of these battles or events that are happening in this section and have fun with it. Be funny. Mr. Smallwood?
All right. Here I got a number 2 here. I got a short video. I think it's about 9 minutes long. And what I want you to do is write a reflection paragraph, 5 to 6 sentences, specifically pointing out 8 details that you found interesting and why they were interesting to you. Okay, pretty easy. Just keep some notes as you're going along, and pretty self-explanatory. I really want you to focus on why these things were interesting to you, because one thing may be interesting to you that's not really that interesting to anybody else. So then that's okay. Just tell me why. All right, Iron Man, you're up next.
All right. So attached on Padlet, there's going to be a chart that's going to have some of the more important battles that I picked out for you guys. There's, I think, about 10 or 12. And then there's just a bunch of questions or boxes that follow, and you're just going to fill the rest of the chart out as you go. It asks for the date, why it was important, just sort of the basic questions. And you guys can use your book, you can use Google, shouldn't have a problem answering all those questions. So it's kind of a time consuming, a little assignment, but it's fairly easy in my opinion. So just answer all those boxes and your job's done.
All right, now on desserts. We have another Abraham Lincoln reflection. So again, put your mind into the 1860s as Abraham Lincoln. The war just ended. The Battle of Appomattox just happened. There's a surrender. Again, put your mind as Abraham Lincoln. What needs to be done next? Our country just split into 2, and now the battle is over. What does Lincoln need to do to kind of put the 2 back together? How do we need to reconstruct the South? What to do going forward? So give me a journal reflection, maybe a paragraph or 2, and that would suffice. Mr. Smallwood?
All right, I got a Kahoot up here. It's pretty broad, from maybe about the 1864 to 1866, somewhere in there. It's pretty broad as far as what it covers. So yeah, just get on there. If you choose this dessert, report your score to your history teacher and let them know how you did, and have fun with it. Yeah, Mr. Moore.
All right. So for my dessert, you guys are just going to write one paragraph, 5 to 6 sentences, answering just one simple question. And that is, why did the North actually win? Not a really question that people like to address unless it's in a textbook or you can Google it or something. So just sort of think about it with all the information that you guys are looking over. And some of the topics you can look at would be the industrial systems, the population differences, the banking systems, the leadership, and the Navy blockades, all of those sort of items you can look at as to why the North actually won, and go in to detail with those things. So that's that would work for my dessert.
All right, so there it is, Titans. Again, just choose one from each category. It does not need to be your teacher's one that they went over. Pick what you want to do. Put all those three on the Microsoft Word document, and just share with your teacher all of them at the same time. Don't be giving me or either of your teachers an appetizer and then email them the main course later. Just keep it all in one document, send it all at one time. So have fun with it, be creative. As always, please let us know if you have any questions. Fellas, did I miss anything?
Sounds good, man.
I don't think so. Sounds good.
You guys have fun with it. Again, this is kind of the end of the Civil War. All right, and then we'll probably have one more week for you guys. Until next time.
See you guys.
See ya. Have a good week.